in the NFL has come to a close, and we are the first to bring you our feelings on this week of football. I am your host, George Carmona. Follow Gridiron Junkies at wherever you like to consume short form or long form content. We're Gridiron Junkies everywhere. Gridiron Junkies on the shirt, Gridiron Junkies on the logo. Sticky Paw Studios where we record out of. Tonight, the show is being engineered by my lovely lover, Camryn. Camryn. Is that it?
Yep.
Just
hello, everybody. How you doing?
Just hello.
I'm Camryn. You can follow me on Instagram, CamrynLee97. That's about it.
That's about it.
That's about it. My user tag is different for different things. So.
Well, you're okay, Camryn. It's okay that the lower third. Ladies, you need to understand, Kay, and I'll take this first little bit of the show because obviously we're going to cover every single game that has happened so far in week 2, and then I will give you my little prediction on what's going to happen tomorrow with my New Orleans Saints. It is a blessing to be able to be in a relationship in which Sundays can just be spent fucking octoboxing, all right? Today was the first day that, I was like, I had seen Nick Days did this, okay? Nick Days, I'm on his show, Veterans Minimum, on Mondays. That show is live, so make sure that you go follow Veterans Minimum. We'll be live at 2:30 p.m. every Monday, doing the same thing we're kind of doing now, but it's in his format at a way fucking nicer studio. Let me tell you, the Win in Blue Wire is amazing. But anyways, Nick Days, he had like a TV set up with 4 games going. Then he had another little side monitor up with 2 games. Then he had one on his laptop. He had his notebook out. And I was like, man, this dude knows what he's doing. All right. Because I just found out about Red Zone. Not found out about it. I always knew it existed. But I didn't start watching Red Zone till about 2 football seasons ago. And it's changed my life, right? Because you at a certain point in time, until you know Red Zone exists, you're like just locked into whatever Fox or CBS provides you, and then you get your Sunday night football action. So you get 3 games as opposed to seeing everything real time, getting filled in on all the players and everything, and it's awesome. It's literally like football heroin. I just literally sit there and I'm just like, Scott Hansen, take it. Oh, whew. We're in the witching hour, baby. Oh my God. And I don't like the witching hour music. I liked last year's witching hour music. It has changed. It's not as impactful. Last year's witching hour had me wanting to run through a fucking brick wall. This year's I'm like, okay, it's a witching hour. All right, it's cool. But anyways, I was talking about Nick Days. He had all the games up, and I was like, I'm going to do the same thing. So today, Camryn and I were, four games up top, 1 game on my laptop. At a point in time in the morning, we had 2 games on the laptop. So we got a very good detailed breakdown of how the flow of every game went. And I feel our analysis this week's going to be better than any other week. Wouldn't you agree, Camryn? What do you like better? Do you like Red Zone solely, or do you like what we kind of did today?
I kind of like what we did today. It was a lot at times. I was solely watching Red Zone at points, mainly just sticking on Red Zone. But I did like being able to look at different games, the ones I was interested in, the ones my bets were in. So. Did
you put a bet in on every game? I did.
Not the morning time. The morning time I only did 5. I put a 5-leg parlay in for the morning.
Just parlays?
Mm-hmm. Just parlays.
I went straight bet attack, but we'll cover our betting statistics at the end of the show. I did horribly once again. I think Camryn won back-to-back weeks where Camryn's the winner. In the coming weeks, we're going to have nice little graphics that'll little cha-ching, all right, money chart, My money chart is,
down.
All right. How sharp can we go down on that money chart? All right. That's my chart. But anyways, it's a blessing. I love you so much. And, the fact that I get to do the show with you and watch football all Sunday and, we've been taking notes and everything. I'm so happy. You make me happy. And I'm making every other guy jealous because every other guy, his girlfriend is literally like, is this the Super Bowl? It's like, no, bitch, it's October. Okay. The Super Bowl isn't until February. But anyways, let's start off with the Thursday night football game. Eagles versus the Vikings. The Eagles beat the Vikings 34-28. I was announcing a football game at this time. It was a high holy holidays, Rosh Hashanah on Friday. So all high school football is played on Thursday. So I had to announce a football game while this game was going on. Nothing in this game shocked me. The Eagles run the best RPO offense in the league. And beyond, because I've already said RPO offense, the Eagles run the best zone running scheme in the league. Everything is out of shotgun, but there's so many different angles of attack. They really utilize 2 tight end sets. They like to pound the fucking rock down your throat, but at the same time, not make it too hard for Jalen Hurts to just pull it out and dump it over the top to A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith. And that offense as a whole is entirely too much to handle for even the best of defenses. And early on in the season so far, the Eagles are proving to me that, like, damn, all right, they didn't have any hangover. They're really hungry for it. And Jalen Hurts is in that upper echelon of quarterbacks. As far as my other notes go, Justin Jefferson, Camryn, I taught you something. Camryn was like, I don't understand why when a person catches it and then they fumble it out of bounds before they score, they fumble it into the end zone and it rolls out, why that's a touchback.
I still don't really understand it.
It's a tough one to like.
I don't think I've ever seen it happen before. Maybe because wouldn't it just be a normal fumble and they can get it back and try again? I don't see why.
Okay, so do you think? Okay, so what if the defense like hits it into the end zone, like? Because here's the thing, whenever you
that's
fumble,
not your side at the time.
I understand, but the defense has to be rewarded, or the defense needs a very big reward to be allotted to them in that short, like when it's in the goal line or they're in the red zone. All right. So like if your defense is able to punch the ball out and the ball goes rolling out of the end zone, you should be rewarded with you getting the ball on the 20-yard line. I think that's fair. I think the offense needs to protect the fucking ball. But that Justin Jefferson thing was unfortunate. He just
So what should he have
control.
done in this situation? Because I was hearing the announcers talk. Was he supposed to just try to go out of bounds, not go into the end zone?
Yeah, you don't always, Some people could say Justin Jefferson was being a little selfish there. All right. Are we trying to fill the stat sheet, right? Are we trying to, be the best receiver to have ever existed? Those type of receivers, they score. So like I could see him like, you're an athletic player, you're making the play. You do have the ability to just like, he had good possession of it. He could have just held the ball and fell out of bounds and give a 1-yard touchdown to Alexander Madison or whatever. But, he loves his fantasy owners. But it's kind of selfish. I don't know. So, stat attack for this one. All right. During this game, the Vikings were behind right off the rip. So, like, I don't necessarily blame them for only having 9 rush attempts. But when you only have 9 rush attempts, it makes me go into the annals of football history to find how many other teams have run the ball less than 10 times in a football game. The Vikings running 9 times on Thursday Night Football makes them tied for 5th for the least amount of rushing attempts in a game. All those teams that had 9 rushing attempts or lower, Camryn, guess how many teams won with 9 rushing attempts or lower?
Was it none?
It was 0. You are correct, okay? You got to run the rock. You got to run the rock consistently. It sets up other things. You were behind in the game, but it also, if I'm giving all offensive coordinators a baseline goal here right now, all right? Run the ball more than 9 times. You give your team a chance to win. All right? That's it. That's all I had from that game. The score is not indicative of the Eagles' domination in this game. The Vikings were behind all game. It did not. It was not close. But on to the morning slate. We're gonna start off with the game that probably upset a lot of people. The Tennessee Titans defeating the Chargers 27-24. All right. Austin Eckler was out. Camryn, why was Austin Eckler out? I legitimately don't know.
Is his ankle?
Is it his ankle?
I think it's his ankle.
He's hurt.
I don't know. I think. Is he hurt?
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't have him on fantasy.
He did not. So, like, this was one game for me that obviously I was somewhat paying attention to because I was like, I want to see this high-powered, high-octane offense of the Chargers, and then Austin Eckler's out. And then I'm like, ooh, all right. So who's their backup, okay? Joshua Kelly. Joshua Kelly's been with them for 4 years now. This is his 4th year on the Chargers. He's always played second fiddle to Austin Eckler.
Second fiddle. Always
played second fiddle, but that's okay. Some people are meant to play the second fiddle in the NFL, and especially at the running back position, it really saves you a lot of wear and tear, and it can extend your life as a running back. I'm trying to think of who is it? Raheem Mostert for the Dolphins is 31 years old, but one of the things he said is like, I wasn't used a lot early on in my career, so I'm kind of fresh.
He's the one who said he's playing like a 25-year-old.
Yep. So Joshua Kelly is the backup running back for the Chargers, and he had a pretty mediocre game. I was not impressed by his ability to like step up into that like starting role, and the Chargers are hurting because they like the crazy thing is Austin Eckler is that important.
He is really good.
Austin Eckler is that important to that offense. When you are losing the ability to run a running back out of the backfield on some routes, which Austin Eckler does frequently, your offense becomes one-dimensional. And Josh Kelly today, I believe, had no receptions. But anyways, this game came down to an overtime field goal, yes? The biggest thing in this game, right, because everything was super even. I put this as a stat attack. For the total amount of yards, the Chargers got 342. The Titans got 341. A 1 yard difference in the total amount of yards they got. First downs, the Chargers got 19. The Titans got 22. So it's still close, but it's like you guys were still punching the ball, down the field evenly. Now, the biggest thing here was the time of possession, because without Austin Eckler being able to run the rock and using Josh Kelly to kind of give him a break from time to time, they completely negated the run game. And that's why the Chargers only had the ball for 28 minutes and 9 seconds, as opposed to the Titans having the ball for 36 minutes and 49 seconds. I mean, you're talking that's almost a quarter-long difference in which one team has the ball, and that's Titans football. It's ugly. It's ugly. And that's why when the Saints beat them week 1, I was disappointed that we didn't put up more numbies, but that's just the Titans. Like, the Titans are cursed. The Titans have this curse. It's kind of like icky. I don't know what Vrabel's putting in the Gatorade out there to kind of make other teams play down to their level, because the Titans aren't necessarily a good football team. They just found out that they had DeAndre Hopkins on their team. And he had a decent game today. So, good on them. And good on them for getting the win. But I don't know. Did you have anything from that game? What bet were you riding out on?
Well, at the time, it was my 5-leg morning parlay. They were the only ones that didn't hit for me. I mean, Green Bay ended up losing at the end. So I had Green Bay too, just the money line. But they lost. But Chargers, I had -2.5. And they were looking good for the majority of it, and then at the end. They were looking good, but then they had the ball first in overtime and didn't do anything with it. Then
3 and out.
Yeah, damn.
Because they had a drive at the end of that game too to get them into field goal position to kick the field goal to send it into overtime. So the Chargers team, for me, it's like you're missing, and I can't just solely blame it on Austin Eckler, but you are missing this like offensive game plan when you don't have him in, and it's evident. And it's Brandon Staley. You got to figure this out. Or actually, it's not Brandon Staley. It's he was at the Cowboys. Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is the OC. So I was not pleased with the way that the Chargers played today, especially at the end. They're a let's get the ball down the field as fast as humanly possible type of team when Austin Eckler's on that end, and you can't be that. That's too predictable. On to the next game, though. This one was a doozy. Came down to the very, very end. The Falcons defeating the Packers 25-24. I was excited watching this, seeing Jordan Love and Desmond Ridder like actually play the quarterback role the way it's supposed to be played, not necessarily looking like how like Josh Dobbs did or like how CJ Stroud and I don't know. They seemed like a step above, obviously, a rookie quarterback. Now, unfortunately, Desmond Ridder throws his first interception ever in the NFL. He played 4 games to end the year last year. He played the 5th game. No interception. Today he throws an interception. It's okay. It's okay. If you're throwing 1 interception every 5 games, that's not bad. That's a ratio I'd be willing to definitely keep. Now, there was an interesting play here, though. It was on the back end of the end zone. It was Mac Hollins. He jumps up, catches the ball. His tippy toes are in bounds, but his heel, I guess, barely tapped. He caught the pass. His tippy toes were down, inbounds, and then his heels are obviously lowering because, gravity. And I guess his heel somewhat hit the line, but it looked like he held a toe, his toes up. He's been working on his calf raises. Let's call that a touchdown. Because here's the thing, Camryn, you were fucking confused earlier. I'm also confused because they were talking about on the broadcast, if you catch a pass and you have your toes in bounds and your toes drag out of bounds, right? Because your momentum carries you. That's a catch.
Sounds like it to me.
He catches the ball. His toes are in bounds. Gravity, heels touch. Barely, by the way. Heels barely touched. No touchdown. I'm lost for words on this. That should have been a touchdown. But it doesn't matter. They got the win anyways. That was one thing that was interesting to me. The second thing that was interesting to me is Arthur Smith's new I'm rocking the stash like Arthur Smith is, all right? I hit the gym before I came here like Arthur Smith has been hitting the gym every day. Arthur Smith when he was on the sideline, he was wearing these cutoff things. I don't know if he was purposefully flexing. I was impressed. Arthur Smith for Comeback Coach of the Year. It's an award that doesn't exist, but it needs to exist.
It should. Comeback
Coach of the Year. Because that team, they underperformed last year, but then he goes stash, loses 20 pounds. And, it's the stash and TRT for Arthur Smith. All right? He has got that team test up. Okay, Roger Goodell needs to go do a steroid check for all Falcons players, especially ones that got mustaches. Last thing for this one, stat attack. Camryn, you want to hit me with the stat attack for the Falcons game?
Oh, wow. Kyle Pitts has had 4 receptions so far this year.
Right.
Wow. That's good.
It's not good.
Not good.
It's not good.
It sounded pretty low.
Yeah, you're 4 receptions, dude.
I didn't know if it was a good stat, low stat. Yeah. No, I guess 2 games.
So
is he supposed to be good?
He was the rookie hopeful a couple of seasons ago.
Oh.
It's now moved on to Bijan Robinson. It's Bijan Robinson season.
He seems to be doing pretty good.
He is.
I read a lot of good stats about him. He's just doing a lot.
When you have a rookie who's getting paid $22 million to play, you fucking abuse that rookie. Volume. You're in every play. You're getting $22 million.
Yeah.
Okay? What am I going to put Tyler Algier in over you? No. You're making 5 times the amount of money he's making.
Damn.
Good on the Falcons, though. They played gutsy at the end, went for it on 4th down. They were about to go for it on 4th down again to kick that field goal with 3 seconds left. Thank God, all right, the the TRT wasn't like fully kicked in. Because Arthur Smith was just pacing. He was like, am I going for it? Am I not going for it? Am I going for it? Am I not going for it? Young Hoku, get your ass out there. And then the fucking...
That's my dude.
The coup chance. On to the next game. Seattle Seahawks taking on the Detroit Lions. The Seahawks going into Detroit and beating the Lions 37-31. This is the way I feel every time I watch a Seahawks and a Lions game. It feels like an offensive barrage, meaning it doesn't feel like there's a defense out there. Literally. That's what that game felt like. Just like a belch, just like a good burp. Okay. A good burp is the offensive to you feeling better, right? You could hold that burp in. It can hurt right here. But if it's a clean burp, that's like I'm playing offense with my life. All right. I want to feel better now. I want to feel less gas inside of me. That's what the Lions do. That's what the Seahawks do. They don't play defense. They don't play defense. They don't hold the burp in. They burp. They belch.
I usually do always go with the over for Lions games, and it seems to always hit. No matter who they play. It's like Lions score a lot of points, typically.
Lions score a lot of points. Lions give up a lot of points.
Yeah.
This is both teams that just like loved giving up points. Stat attack for this game. The most yards allowed this season. It's not the Seahawks. I thought it was. I was like, damn, after the Seahawks got torched and fucking ruined my life. God damn it. Those motherfuckers, Circus Survivor Series, they should have dominated the Rams.
Stole my $6 million.
Stole it.
That didn't happen.
Stole it. If I ever see Pete Carroll, I'm going to be like, pay up, bro. Like, the fuck. The fuck. Dude, seriously. They've given up the second most amount of yards behind the weak-ass Chargers. The Chargers have given up 875 yards this season. The Seahawks have given up 844 yards. Lots and lots and lots of yards. 102 of those yards that were given up came from the best receiver in the league, and I'm not kidding. He's well-rounded. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 6 receptions, 102 yards today. Listen, it's crazy that like he isn't used more, but he is. It doesn't seem like it, but people, they rely on this man to be a stout blocker. And every time I watch it, I'm just like, man, whenever we have a kid, babe, Amon-Ra St. Brown highlights. No, seriously. And not even catches. Just like watch him on the outside just refuse to lose. He refuses to lose. That's a winner. Amon-Ra St. Brown. That team is still, the Lions are good, okay? The Seahawks, fucking fluky. They're up, down, up, down, up, down. The Lions just got to figure out a defense. I don't know what Dan Campbell's got to do. I actually do know what Dan Campbell's got to do. You got to, as crazy as it, you got to embrace the C.J. Gardner-Johnson craziness where he's like, we the villains. I want everyone in blue ski masks. This is what the corner for the Lions said. Oh. I want everyone in blue ski masks because we're the villains this year. You got to embrace that. Because if you have one of those and like 10 people that are like, this motherfucker's crazy, that's not going to work. You give up a lot of points. Now, if you say, listen, I know you're crazy. I want all you other 10 to embrace the crazy. I think they could be something.
So like the bad boys, the Pistons?
Yeah, yes. Yep. Detroit.
They just embrace that kind of
Detroit.
grittiness.
I've never
Detroit thing.
I've never been, but I feel like I know what it smells like. It just smells like grimy, just
like hard work, dedication,
steel, Ford,
athletes,
forward. On to the next game. I was disappointed. Come on, Lions, be better. The team that I told everybody to watch out for a little bit. I was very, very hopeful on Baker Mayfield. The Buccaneers defeat the Bears 27-17. Baker, for the first time in his career, I'm starting with Stat Attack. For the first time in his career, he starts 2-0. Think about that. Baker Mayfield is playing with the best core receivers than he's ever had. He's playing with a defense that's legitimate. Like, there was years where that Browns defense, Baker Mayfield knew. He was like, all right, aside from Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward, they were still giving up a lot of fucking points. Like, they were missing that linebacker position, and so it's been a revolving door for the Browns. But you go to the Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield is just putting together drives. It seemed like every drive they were punching it into the red zone. And let me tell you something. What the fuck were we thinking about the Bears? Like, the Bears got DJ Moore, and everybody and their mom was like, holy shit. Woo, 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 woo. Justin Fields, DJ Moore, this is going to be like, what, 2,000 yards receiving for DJ? DJ Moore is so fucking average. Like, can we please relax? The Bears are so fucking average. They are the same exact team that's going to ruin Justin Fields. And now Justin Fields, I don't know. I don't know what to, like, he could still go on to have like a pretty decent season, and you know, Big Cat on Part of My Take is still going to be like, oh, there's hope there, but there's not. Like, and it starts at the coaching position. There's nothing that I like about the Bears. There's everything that I like about the Buccaneers. I'm really scared about the Buccaneers when they play the Saints. The Buccaneers are the reason the Saints didn't make the playoffs last year. That fucking sucked because we could have been there, man. Andy Dalton was playing good. Ugh, that sucks. But enough from that. Did I have anything else in that game? Oh, yes. Mike Evans is alive, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh. Mike Evans, it seemed like he's just been on this hiatus of only playing like every 3 games. You'll see him just pop off. But Mike Evans today, 6 receptions, 171 yards, 1 touchdown. He popped off in a big way. On to the Chiefs versus Jaguars game. This one, Chiefs win 17-9 versus the Jags. Camryn, I'm going to have you start this one off.
Okay, so this was the only morning game that didn't hit the over out of the 8 games.
It was over central.
It was. And I usually love picking overs.
Especially with the Chiefs.
I didn't even pick a lot of overs today. Yeah, I did. Yeah, they had the highest over, I think. One of the highest overs. It was like 50.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they didn't even get close. It was like, what, 25?
Yeah.
17
yeah. 26.
Crazy. High scoring morning.
It was a very high scoring morning, but this game, like, it never made it onto the red zone, so like we didn't hear too much audio on it. I was keeping my eye on it somewhat, but it just looked sloppy. But here's the thing, all right? The thing that I established in my head was the fact that Doug Peterson and Andy Reid are pretty tied together. I may have heard this in the past, but I was reading articles before this show started, and it was talking about like Doug Peterson was given his first coaching job by Andy Reid for the Eagles. Then Doug Peterson goes on to like win the Super Bowl with the Eagles when they beat Tom Brady, and then Nick Foles. Like it was a big thing, right? And then Doug Peterson goes to the Jags. The Jags have an amazing year last year, and then who do they get defeated by in the playoffs? The Chiefs and Andy Reid. So I did a little digging, and I was like, has Doug Peterson ever beat Andy Reid? And the answer is no. Andy Reid is 4-0 versus Doug Peterson. Safe to say he has his number. Even though this game came down to a singular possession, Andy Reid, with a team that is, they are picking up their receivers from Walmart at this point. You know, like it amazes me what Patrick Mahomes does with these guys. The Jags need to find here's the caveat to everything that I saw today. They need to find way more creative ways to get Calvin Ridley the ball. Period. Point blank. Calvin Ridley is a major asset to that offense. And the fact that they're only utilizing him on routes that are like deeper than 10 yards, I'm like, oh, guys, come on, give it to him. Jet sweep. Think like long drag routes. Think Mike Thomas, Drew Brees days. Like, get this man the ball in some space. And I understand he's an excellent route runner, and it's kind of like you're kind of just like giving up if you're sending him on like these long drag routes that are, 3 to 5 yards in front of the quarterback. But I'm like, just give him touches. He's electric. He's going to make people miss. But there was another interesting stat from this one, Camryn. You mind stat attacking us here on the Trevor Lawrence thing?
Oh, sure. Oh. So Trevor Lawrence was 0-7 for passing in the red zone.
That's
0-7.
Shit.
That's not good. Not good.
Now,
but he knew it. He admitted after the game. He said, "We weren't there. Offense was shit." Not in those words, but he said that. He admitted
in his head. Do you think Trevor Lawrence cusses? Do you think Carmelo Soprano cusses?
I can't get that out of my head. That is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
He needs to grow some facial hair.
Yeah. Because I don't think he looked good with short hair. I think the long hair is good.
Oh my God.
But maybe some facial hair.
Wow. No quarterback with long hair has ever won a Super Bowl.
Really?
I think. I'm pretty sure I've heard this. I know, I'm pretty sure I've heard this before. They're just not clean cut. They're not meant for the job. On to the very last game, though. That was a crap game between the Jags and the Chiefs. This game, though, was pretty interesting, at least for me and my outlook on what the Ravens could be. The Ravens defeat the Bengals today, 27-24. In a game that I promise you, it's like the score in this one also was not indicative of the way the Ravens thoroughly dominated this game. Part of me, before I go on my Ravens are legit rant, what the fuck happened with the Bengals? Here's the thing. When I saw the Bengals 2 years ago play the Raiders in Allegiant Stadium, and this was a year that they made the Super Bowl. This is like, I mean, I didn't understand at the time that they were going to be a Super Bowl team because, you had Joe Burrow as a rookie. You had, a team that was kind of like piecemealed together that, in my opinion, I was like, they play really hard. They're like the Titans. They made things ugly. The one thing that the Bengals team 2 years ago did that I have not seen a lot of this year is the excitement for the unit. They, in past years, it was like first down, any big plays, the sideline camaraderie and the way that everybody was excited for their other teammates' success, it was palpable. I witnessed it live. I was like, man, this is a team that really wants it. Now, there was them flying, right, from Cincinnati to Las Vegas. But I would then, after that game, right, I would just be watching the sideline, and they had it. They were just always excited for each other's success. This year, I've not seen it. This year seems like they've had their success, and I don't know, the same way that I describe what the Chiefs can do. It's early in the season. We can fuck off. We're really good. We're going to play good late in the season. We're going to still make the playoffs. We're going to take it. We're going to take it serious when we need to take it serious. You got to get some wins. You got to get some momentum going on your side early here. And if you don't do that, you're going to start to see, players, I don't know, fighting. Like, I hate to see infighting or like, they aren't seeing it on the same level. And I think their coach also feels like he's feeling the pressure. You can't go 0-2 with what can, I've been saying it, it's the best receiver quarterback combo in the league. Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. Like, to me, that's the best. They have not proven it at all. I mean, they didn't score their first fucking touchdown until the second quarter of the Ravens game. And they didn't score any touchdowns in game one. So that's 5 scoreless quarters with the best receiver quarterback duo, in my opinion. And I know Burrow's coming off of the injury. Didn't really play a lot in the preseason. They're still finding the rhythm. They better fucking figure it out. Now, on to me just gloating about the Ravens. Zay Flowers, Offensive Rookie of the Year candidate. This dude is insanely fast. He catches the ball, and similar to Tyreek Hill, he is making defenders just miss in phone booths, right? Like defenders like right there in front of him, and Zay Flowers is just able to just, just completely embarrass them with his speed. The one thing, Camryn, we did a hit workout before this, and in the hit workout, we had this thing, and I'm going to, we had to like hip, we had to do the little hip on the hit workout. Those guys spin around so fast, it gives me whiplash. Okay? When Tyreek Hill and Zay Flowers catch a pass, and then they go about face in about 0.1 second, or the speed of light, actually. It's the speed of light. Even in slow-mo, they're still blurry, turning around. That's how fast Zay Flowers is. You get to put yourself in that Offensive Rookie of the Year candidate spot when you make highlight plays. He's going to make a lot of highlight plays. Although he's not the front runner, he's definitely somebody you got to watch out for. Lamar Jackson, finally running the football. 12 carries today. 12 carries for 54 yards. That's your stat attack. Boom. Bengals, lifeless. Ravens, lots of life. You had one more thing from this game, Camryn. What was it?
So I was reading. It was their third time playing each other at the stadium the last 9 months. And the Bengals had won the last 2, so.
Tough to beat a team 3 times. That's like one of those betting stats where you can find some value or like make your case.
Yes. Lamar was out the last 2 games, though, with the injury. He had an injury.
Ooh.
So that could have. Big reason.
Yeah, that's a fucking huge reason.
Big reason.
Lamar's legit. And once he starts getting mobile with it, watch out, people. He is still one of the best. On to the game that, to me, I'm like, I was hopeful for the Raiders. I really was. I was like, man, they could go down there after what the Jets had to go through on that Monday Night Football game, losing after Aaron Rodgers tears his Achilles. He tears his Achilles. The Bills defeat the Raiders 38-10. Now, one of the big things that Uncle Kiki, my uncle who's been on the show, and I trust his betting advice a lot because he's fucking methodical with it. One of his biggest things that he's always talked to me about is when teams travel from coast to coast. It means a lot as far as the way your body feels, your entire, makeup of your human body. When you travel, you go fucking thousands of feet in the air. You come down, you move time zones, okay? You're not in the same bed. All these things play such a huge factor. And that's like one of the longest trips. I mean, you're going from upstate New York all the way down to Las Vegas. Like, that's a long, long trip. I should have taken that more into consideration. You saw this line move from -9.5 in favor of the Bills to then -7 this morning. And that's what I saw it at. And I was like, I'm going with the public here, baby. I'm going with the public. We moved the line. The line moved for a reason. It's because everyone was like, the Raiders against a Broncos team that was supposedly got a really good defense. We'll get into their really good defense soon. Not that good. The Raiders put up a great performance last week in Mile High. I think they can repeat it. They couldn't. I don't really have anything else to say from this game. Do you have a stat attack for us?
Let's see.
Stat attack is brought to you by Celsius.
Josh Allen is now 13 for 4 when it comes to games after losses.
13 and 4.
13 and 4. Yeah, 13 and 4. No, 13 and 4.
Yeah, 13 and 4. 13 wins, 4 losses.
Which is pretty good.
That's good.
He comes back with a vengeance.
Comes back with a vengeance, and he does some pretty stupid things, Camryn.
Oh, the jump. Hey, you got to do what you got to do. That's good. You sacrifice yourself for the game.
Yeah.
That's a player I want. That's a quarterback I want on my fantasy team. That's why I have him.
Yeah.
2 years in a row.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, he had this goal line play where he's like running, tried to legitimately hurdle a guy that wasn't even going for his legs. He almost got fucking suplexed. Get your big ass down, bro. Live to play another down. Okay? You got me thinking out, you're playing like every snap is your last, Pray for tomorrow. Pray for tomorrow. He's back. I don't know if he's made any tackles or anything. I'm assuming. Yeah, I don't know if he's played.
No, I don't think he's been. I was reading he hasn't. No. Yeah, I don't think he's played.
He's definitely practiced. Yeah, I've seen
so.
the videos. I've seen the videos of him practicing. Are you trying to see my penis?
I don't know how.
Oh
my gosh. Okay.
All right.
Sorry about that.
You're good. It happens.
Does it?
You know what else happens? 2 rookie quarterbacks playing each other in game 2 of their careers, looking for their first win. Because the Colts didn't win last week, right? I'm not crazy.
No, I don't think. No.
No. Colts did not win last week. So anyways, 2 rookie quarterbacks looking for their first win. 2 rookie head coaches looking for their first win. The one thing that I was, after watching this game for about 10 minutes, I was like, oh, this game, all you needed to do was send 6 to 7 people, not just 6, 5 or 6. Boom, constant pressure. Just blitzes from all different angles, because that's what rookie quarterbacks struggle with the most. You saw in this game, the Colts blitz the absolute living shit out of the Texans. And that's why it shocked me when I didn't see D'Amico Ryans want to put the pressure on the Colts. Okay. Now, obviously, Anthony Richardson, 2 rushing touchdowns. On that second rushing touchdown, gets a little concussion. We got a little bit of Minshew mania for the Colts. Excellent backup for the Colts, by the way. But the Colts allowed 0 sacks during this game because D'Amico, no heat, right? But the Texans allowed 6 sacks.
Oh.
And to me, that's all. That was the stat, but all I needed to see from this game, whenever a rookie quarterback is in front of me, I am going to blitz, send it, stunts, boom, boom, whirly dirls, cornerback blitzes, free safety over the top, right down the middle. Bring the pressure, okay? On to the next one. This one is the last game of the morning slate. We had the Commanders versus the Broncos. Commanders defeat the Broncos 35-33. This game, at the end, we all saw the play. Hail Mary, okay? Russell Wilson chucks it up. 2 seconds left. 1 second left. No seconds left. Tipped pass. Catches it in the end zone. The Hail Mary works. However, they needed to go for 2. And that's all I'm going to cover for in this game is this last 2 plays because it tells me everything I need to know. 1, the Broncos are going to need a lot of luck to have success this season because their defense is not that good. Okay, obviously you see it has to come down to a last play versus a Commanders team who they should have handled at home, right? And this is back-to-back home games. Sean Payton doesn't want to go down 0-2 at home, right? They've built a lot of hype around this team. Then they get this amazing play. The football gods, boom, looking over him. Oh, yeah, smile high. I'm going to give you some football love today. Hail Mary, boom. Hail Mary granted. Whatever Sean Payton, I don't know. They had to kill a goat or something. Like, that's
Probably
typically how you get Hail Marys to work.
Mm-hmm.
They call a play, and I vividly remember seeing Sean Payton say, run the play. Like, which tells me Russell Wilson was probably in his helmet like, Coach, are you sure? Right? Which is, like, not what you want to hear. All right? If I'm a head coach, listen, I'm head coach. All right? I call the fucking plays. And especially because Sean Payton draws up a beautiful play. Okay? Bunched up, 2 receivers on either side. All we were trying to do here, Camryn, because they were manned up, we're just trying to cause some confusion. We're just going to we're going to mesh, okay? And we're going to hope that our defenders run into each other and it's wide open. Russell Wilson chose the wrong receiver. And I saw this as it was happening live. I'm like, oh my God, Jerry Jeudy. Look at Jerry Jeudy on this 2-point conversion. Because Jerry Jeudy's guy was the guy that got caught up in the mess. Jerry Jeudy's unscathed. All Russell Wilson needed to do was look to the backside. But instead, There wasn't even pressure, dude. That's the part that is going to make Sean Payton yell at Russell Wilson at one point in time in this season, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome because Sean Payton doesn't play shit. Okay? Sean Payton and Drew Brees would go at it sometimes. He does not play around. Anything else from this game? Oh, boom. Stat attack. 10 Commanders caught a pass today. Pretty impressive.
That's a lot.
10 different Commanders caught a pass. Like, they're stuffing the stat sheet a little bit.
Oh, nice. I like it.
On to the afternoon games. Cowboys taking on the Jets. Cowboys whooping that Jets ass. 30-10. Obviously, every Cowboys fan dream, all right, is if the Super Bowl was played in October. They would have fucking 20 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Cowboys are so good in the regular season, and then playoffs come, and it's the same old Cowboys. We always talk about it, same old Cowboys. The Zach Wilson played decent. He didn't play like shit, but I definitely was expecting Zach Wilson to put them into a winning position at the end of the game, very similar to how he did with the Bills.
He had 3 interceptions in the fourth quarter. He did the very opposite of it. 3 of them.
I get it.
In one quarter.
I get it. You know, the Cowboys, here's the thing. Why he throws those 3 interceptions? Micah Parsons is fucking unblockable. Micah Parsons is 5'10", 240 pounds, stronger and faster than every tackle in the league. He is just fucking doing whatever he wants out there. The man today had 4 QB hits and 2 sacks. Yep. And I'm telling you, if we had a stat, and they need to probably make this stat, it probably is invented. You doing something that alters the outcome of that play, he probably did that 70% of the time he was out there. Like, whether it was taking his tackle and just like going, no, I'm going to try to sack the quarterback with your back.
Like an assist in basketball where you're kind of responsible for the point. Semi.
Or responsible just for like a shitty play or like lack of yards being gained. Something needs to happen. One player that missed out on a golden opportunity, and this was like in the third quarter, I believe, right? And the Jets had a chance to kind of flip the momentum. Sauce Gardner missed a pick 6 that literally bounced off his hands, and I was like, that's the game. Very few plays in games result in affecting the outcome. That was one of them. That pick 6 there not only like shocks life back into the team, but it brings Dak Prescott back to reality. All right, Dak Prescott's playing at like, whoa, head is fucking this way. He can't even fit his head in his helmet. It's that inflated. He needs to get brought back down to reality. Sauce Gardner could have done that. He didn't do it. That's it. On to the next little doozy here. The Giants. Remember I talked about the Bengals not scoring points? The Giants definitely don't like scoring points. But the Giants still beat the Cardinals' weak asses 31-28. Now the Cardinals are trying, man. They're trying. Josh Dobbs, he's solid. James Conner, solid. They have decent receivers. However, they just definitely don't have a defense. And that's gonna cause them to get the first round draft pick next year. So, you know, there's the give and the take. The give and the take. The pushing and the tearing. The pushing and the tearing.
How do you get draft picks again?
Oh, you just suck.
Is it the worst team?
Correct. They are on pace, or what everyone's thinking right now is like Caleb Williams is going to be. Huh?
Oh, you're good.
Caleb Williams. Oh yeah, no, I was
moving your camera a little bit.
Oh, you were moving it. Okay. Caleb Williams will be the first round draft pick. You could.
Is it too high? You think?
Yeah, you can pull it down a little bit. Pull it down a little bit.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But anyways,
do a little switcheroo.
While you're doing that, Camryn, the Giants need to act like underdogs. All right? When the Giants act like underdogs and they act like everybody is against them, they play so good. So good. But when people like George Carmona hype them up before the season saying they're going to win the division and they fucking suck for 2 straight weeks, I'm like, damn, man. Nobody can give you praise without you guys just living down to my expectations. I want you to live up to my expectations. But anyways, the Giants, after not scoring a touchdown for the first 6 quarters of this season, they scored a touchdown on their first drive of the third quarter in like 3 plays. When I watched it, it was like deep ball, little short pass. Daniel Jones keeps it on a read option for like a 20-yard touchdown run. And I was like, wow, you see, Giants, it's not that hard. Push the ball downfield, bro. Like, you guys are trying to be methodical. Saquon got banged up a little bit.
Ooh,
yep. All I saw, x-rays came back negative. But I don't know, man. This dude's always fucking hurt. Like, yeah, Saquon's good for like 3 games and then just put him on the shelf. You know.
What are you saving for the end of the season then?
Yeah. Running backs should really start doing that. Just not be on a team and then with like 3 weeks left in the season, just get picked up by like a Super Bowl contender that like wants a stud. Pay me $2 million, bro. And then you don't have to go to any practices leading up to that. You don't have to. Your job is simple. Hand off left, hand off right, block this guy, block that guy. Not that hard. I mean, it's hard. But it's like, to understand, you're like, okay, this is pretty simple. But it's the biggest comeback in Giants history, right? The Cardinals went up 21-0. I thought this game was like over. I could not believe my eyes when I saw the Cardinals had scored 21 unanswered points. I was like, are the fucking Giants even alive? Back-to-back weeks, you guys are going to get skunked in the first half. Oh. But then they came back and they got a little.
That's good for them.
We got our first taste of the Cardinals tanking for Caleb Williams. So, we have 2 more games here. 2 more games, and then our sports betting recap. The 49ers taking on the Rams. The 49ers defeating the Rams 30-23. Camryn, you definitely have heard this name over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Pukinakua.
I like it.
Pukinakua.
I like him.
All right, Pukinakua is like a Cooper Kupp 2.0. Cooper Kupp being out has allotted this rookie, who is the front runner for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Really?
He has to be. He has the most receptions of any rookie receiver in his first 2 games.
Really?
He got 15 receptions today. 15 receptions for 147 yards. That's a lot of goddamn touches for a rookie. And in big-time spots, too. Like, he was getting the ball on 3rd down and 7s, like, coming across the middle. I was like, this kid right here, Pukinakua, he's going to be a household name. Household names are developed, one, by you have to have a cool name. That's step 1.
And he does have a very cool name.
Pukinakua. Let me lead you on to a sponsorship deal, my boy. Bring back the puka shells. I want Pukinakua. And tell me, Camryn, when you used to wear puka shells, that they didn't used to like do a little pinch
of course.
on your neck right there? And
of course.
Just like, ow! Looks dope though, right? Looks dope,
My
huh?
puka shells. That's so funny.
I want to go take a picture with Pukinakua and puka shells. That's what I want to do. Because he's that cool, man. Like, and he's like one of those like rookies that you just feel, right? If life is a simulation, and he's just seems to be playing Madden, he's just like one of those rough, rugged type of players. Not flashy. All right, I don't need all the wristbands on him. He's just a dog. Pukinakua is just a dog. And Sean McVay, I don't know how you're doing it, dude. Like, these are, you had a quarterback who at the beginning of his season, his wife goes on a podcast and says, Matt Stafford's wife said this, right? She said, yeah, Matt comes home and it's like, he just feels disconnected with the players. Like, he feels like he doesn't,
no.
he feels like that he's just like getting too old. Like, he can't like really relate with him. Pukinakua, I don't know what the fuck, what Megan Stafford or Mrs. Stafford, whatever her name is. I don't know if Pukinakua was a part of that statement, but he shouldn't have been, because Matt Stafford is finding him in every which way, and that team is flowing, and that defense is actually better than I thought. When we got to see Brock Purdy really turn it on today because he had to. And, yeah, it's not hard to turn it on when you have the best fucking weapons in the league. Like, find Deebo Samuels. Hand the ball off to Christian McCaffrey. Oh, those two people are covered? Why don't we throw it to George Kittle? Oh, well, you know, Kittle, Kelsey, Case. What else here? That was it for that one. 49ers, pretty fucking dominant. The fact that this game was close. Oh, I know what it is now. Okay, I made the Instagram story about this. So end of the game, the 49ers are up by 10. Okay, it's 30-20. The Rams get the ball back with like 30 seconds left, and they're like pumping it down the field. I was like, oh, like they're still like playing hard. But then they get into field goal range with like 20 seconds left. Sean McVay calls a timeout, and I'm like, oh my God, they're going to kick a field goal. And I had taken the Rams plus 7.5 because they fucked me in Circus of Survivor Series last week. So I was like, I want to use them. I want to use the Rams as an ally. And they were, because Sean McVay knew what the line was, and he was like, oh, I got my boys 7.5. All right, let's bring out the field goal unit. Let's bring out the field goal unit to close this one up here. Yeah, no. We can get a touchdown if we get the onside kick, but let's just play logically right now. If we go for a touchdown right now, we don't get it. We lose by 10. Wouldn't you rather lose by 7? I'm so glad he did that. There were so many 49er fans that probably took their phones and just fucking hucked it right at their TVs. I would have done that. That sucks. On to the final game, the Sunday night football game that was a shocker. What was the final in that one? Can you find the final in that one?
Let me pull that up.
While the Dolphins beat the Patriots, but it was close.
Oh my gosh.
It was very close. Mac Jones looked poised today, put the boys in good position to have a shot. However, the final score was?
It was 24-17.
24-17.
24-17.
On the very last play of this game for the Patriots on offense, Mike Gesicki catches the ball, tosses it to his tackle, like just, old hook, Kareem hook shot. Lyman catches it, and it's a lineman's dream, right? Especially on a 4th down, to try to punch it forward, get the first down there, keep the drive alive, give the Patriots a chance to get it. And I'm watching it, and it looked like he got across the line to gain. However, NFL games have roughly 750,000 cameras. So they had every which angle to tell that this fatso did not make the line to gain. I didn't mean to call him a fatso. He's a human being. He's very athletic, way more athletic than me. He's probably not even fat. Didn't get it short. Just short. Probably like, super short.
Super short.
And the Dolphins pull out a win here. I knew going into this game, I was like, man, it's not the fact that the Patriots are loaded with talent, but it's the fact that the Patriots have the best goddamn coach in the league. The Patriots ran this field goal block play where they sent their defensive player in motion to jump across and block the kick. If you haven't watched it, you need to go watch that right now, because you're going to start to see a lot of teams do this, or at least, allude to trying to bring pressure off the side, because then late in the game, the Dolphins could have won, or at least put it out of reach by 10 points, 2 possessions. They missed the field goal because they ran that same little motion after blocking it the first time. And I can't help but to think kickers can feel footsteps too. The kicker felt the footsteps coming off the edge. He's like, I need to get this up quick. Boom. Missed it left. He was already on the left hash, so he had to kick it towards the dude sprinting in. Dangerous. Really like that. You're going to start seeing a lot of teams do that. Mm-hmm. The helmet-to-helmet penalties. This was another thing that killed the Patriots. It was like a play in the 3rd quarter, or it may have been in the 4th quarter. Jalen Waddle goes up for a pass. Matt Judon punches it out. You can't, as the safety's coming down to just clean up the play, you can't tell where the dude's head is. And he hits, I think, helmet-to-helmet calls in the NFL, one should only be called if it's blatantly obvious or upstairs. 2, if you hit with your face mask, the right fucking way to tackle, Like, you should not. Top of the head, throw it every time. If I hit him with my face mask, that's not it is helmet to helmet. You are correct. Actually,
where else
you're
your
not
head gonna
correct.
go?
Face mask to helmet. I'm fucking giving myself whiplash. It hurts me more. Your head is just going, my head's going, you know? It's a lose-lose. And this dude, whoever the safety is for the Patriots, he's going to get fined. It's going to suck. I'm going to be like, start a GoFundMe for these people. I want to start a GoFundMe for these late hits. Just dumb fines. That's a dumb fine. I want you to change it. Anyways, stat attack from this game. Bill Belichick, for the first time since 2001, starts off the season 0-2. Camryn, in 2001, the Patriots won the Super Bowl. Oh? A bad stat turned into a good stat real quick?
That is a good stat because they did win. And then they did win years after that, I remember.
They've
won a few times.
A good of a stat as you can get right there. That's, winning a Super Bowl, Tom Brady shit his pants.
Oh, you mean
the same year he won the Super Bowl.
In 2001, they won the Super Bowl. And they started 0-2 in 2001.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I was confused on the stat, but that makes... Okay.
I'm glad you cleared it up. I'm glad you cleared it up.
So there's a chance.
There is a chance.
Don't count them out, is what you're saying.
There is a chance. If my final takeaways from week 2 before we move on to us talking about our betting stats, if I was to pick a Super Bowl that I would want to see right now, it would be Eagles-Dolphins. It's just two high-powered offenses. I would want to see a Super Bowl that has the potential of being like 45-42.
I like that.
We talked about how much we liked numbies.
Mm-hmm. High-scoring games.
Just talk about numbies for a second, Camryn.
No defense.
No defense.
I like overs.
Yes.
High numbers. High scores. No defense. It's good. It's fun. I don't like when a game's like 10-7, 17-9. It's boring. It's boring.
Agreed.
I want scores.
You want to know what my scores were this weekend for our betting?
Not as good as mine.
Betting recap. I put in a straight bet on every single game minus the Patriots and the Vikings and Eagles game. But I put straight bets down on everything. Little $5, just $5, because I'm like, all right, let me see if I can accumulate a little bit here. I didn't accumulate shit. I lost $50 because I also put all my straight bets into parlays. Those lost. My record for the week was 6-18, leaving me at a crisp 33.3%. Back-to-back weeks in which my significant other is going to beat me in total overall. I'm pretty sure of it, right? What'd you finish off with?
I finished 5 for 10, but I won no money because they were both parlays, or they were all parlays, and one first touchdown bet.
Back-to-back weeks, you've gotten one of those.
Yes, I've gotten 2, which now I think I can just hit every game. I can hit every game.
What's the strategy there?
Choose with the best odds. Best odds.
You're
bound to at least,
And you're still getting 5-6 to 1.
Yeah. It's today it was $5.30 for the one that lost Tyreek Hill. So.
Well, I lost out on Ramondre Stevenson's first touchdown bet. But the cool thing about me going 6-18 is that 2 of those bets I had put in my Wager Wars. You can watch Wager Wars every Wednesday. It comes out normally in the afternoon. This will be before the Thursday night games. Always, this is where me and the other Babs from Canada we're going head to head. All right, with our 3 best NFL bets of the week. First week he beats me. He gets all 3 of his. I only hit 1 of my bets. But this week I hit 2. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't even pay attention to what he picked and see how soft those hit. So I'll find out on Wednesday. I'll find out on Wednesday as you find out. Please tune into Wager Wars. I am your host for this show, George Carbone. You can follow me at Mr. George Carbone everywhere.
What about tomorrow's game? Tomorrow's game, predictions.
Predictions. There's 2 of them. Steelers are playing in one of them. I already know. And my Saints. I'll start off with the Saints. The Saints are going to dominate. Okay? We are going to put up more numbies than you have ever seen before. And if the Saints know football the way I know football, what did I say for the Colts and the Texans? You blitz rookie quarterbacks. Expect to see a tremendous amount of pressure on Bryce Young. Huge spotlight. Huge spotlight. This game starts early. Remember, 4 o'clock. So make sure you put in those bets before. I think it's a 4:30 kickoff.
4 o'clock?
I think it's a 4:30 kickoff because it's on the East Coast.
Oh my goodness.
Then we have one more game. We have one more game, and that is the Browns taking on the Steelers. So one starts at 4:15, the Saints and the Panthers.
Whoa.
The second starts at
We
5:15.
have 2 games?
Correct. They doubled it up. Browns versus Steelers. Let me hit you with a whole lot of being chubby. All right. Imagine you wake up in the morning and you're a guy and your testosterone's good. You got a chub. All right. Period. All right. Let's say you like eating a lot of ice cream. You start getting a little bit of chub. There's going to be a whole lot of chub tomorrow because they are playing in Pittsburgh and the people in Pittsburgh are fat. I don't think the Steelers got a shot. I don't. You got a spread in that game of Cleveland favored by 2. I would even inflate that to Cleveland by 5.5. I know it sounds weird. I did it with the Buccaneers. Get you to plus money. It'll probably get you to plus 130, plus 145. If you inflate that line, you could probably only inflate that line on FanDuel or DraftKings. So if you're watching the show out of state, if you're watching it in Nevada, drive your ass to the state line of Arizona, place that bet. For the Saints are favored by 3 points going to the Panthers. I don't want to say the house. Too early to say the house. There's no fucking chance in hell that the Panthers win this game. Period. So if you want to just put money line on the Saints, go ahead and do that. Your predictions?
Ooh, I'll take the Saints. Because you like them, so I'll root for them. And then who was the other?
Steelers and Browns. It's Browns at the Steelers.
And Browns are favorites?
Yeah. Steelers getting points at home.
I'll take the Steelers.
Steelers getting points at home.
I'll take them.
And overs?
I think. What are the overs? What's the over?
I don't know. It doesn't say that on.
I'm taking the over, both of them.
On ESPN. ESPN, sooner or later, now that they've partnered up with Penn Gaming, will definitely have a lot more odds on their website or on their app. But anyways, hope you enjoyed week 2 of football. This one was electric. When you got games going into overtime and you got games all like presenting red zone type scenarios frequently, there was a lot of scoring, lots of overs hit. I hope week 3 presents us the same thing. I am your host, Mr. George Carmona. You can follow Gridiron Junkies everywhere. Camryn, you can follow her on her Instagram at Camryn.
At Camryn Lee 97.
Boom. Do it. We still got to get you some more clippies to put up. This week I will be better with the social media content, ladies and gentlemen. I do a lot. Tomorrow morning I will be live at 11 a.m. on the American Fan 365 YouTube. Feel free to tune in there where we cover all sports, not just the NFL. Then I will be on Veterans Minimum at 2:30 p.m. If you're on Eastern Time, 5:30. 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific. Done. All right. That's it, baby. Hit the intro. We out this big.